Hey guys, I wanted to give my thoughts on Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 rematch in Vegas this September. So, I remember, two fights stand out to me. When I was a kid, or when I was 13, I remember when Mike Tyson was fighting Lennox Lewis in 2002, and I was really excited for that fight. And that was probably the most excited I've ever been for a fight. But then I also remember in 2015 when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought, and I was about just as excited for that fight as well. So yeah, those two fights stand out to me as like the two fights I've never been more excited for as like a boxing fan. And now Mayweather and Pacquiao are fighting again like 11 years later. So yeah, the first time Mayweather and Pacquiao fought, everyone was saying, it was like 5 years too late. And I remember saying that that should have, when they fought in 2015, I thought that should have been like the third time they fought. You know what I mean? So I thought they should have fought, once in 2011, maybe once in 2013, and then maybe a final time in 2015. So that it should have been like a trilogy, right? But instead, 2015 was the first time they fought. And most people agreed it was 5 years too late, and it was a pretty shitty fight from an entertainment perspective. And now they're fighting again 11 years later. So what? That means this fight is 16 years too late? Yeah, I can't believe. So like the fight's in Vegas in the Sphere, and it's also gonna be on Netflix. So I mean, essentially businesses, they're saying it's gonna do big business. I can't believe people want to watch this. I don't understand why a 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather and a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao is like an entertaining idea. I mean, I get it. It's like competitive and it's fair, right? So it is like a fair fight, It's not like the Jake Paul thing where it's like, 27 versus 59 or whatever. But I just don't understand why this is like what people want to watch. I was saying to my brother, like, just this past weekend, I was watching Ryan Garcia against Mario Barrios, right? And, Ryan Garcia is 27. He's like, whatever, rising star. He had a great performance, won the fight. A fight like that should be on Netflix. That should be a fight where they're trying to, like, build up a star and, have him have, future fights on Netflix and, make him popular and get people to watch boxing, right? Like a 27-year-old who's, like, exciting and fun and whatever in his prime, right? Versus instead they're trying to sell these fights like, the Joshua Jake Paul fight is a pretty big joke, and now a 49-year-old Mayweather and 47-year-old Pacquiao. Like, I understand why boxing is like in this place where they're not even trying to build their new stars. I mean, you have guys like, Shakur Stevenson just had that fight against Lopez. That could have been a fight on Netflix. Or I don't know, you could be building up David Benavidez, right? He's someone who, should be, is a great fighter who could, gather a following or something. Whereas it seems like they're really doing, like, if you say to yourself, who's going to be the popular boxer 20 years from now? You can't even, like, think of anyone, right? Like, I guess Canelo is, like, a big deal. But other than Canelo, I can't really think of anyone. I guess Joshua a little bit got kind of famous there for a while. So maybe other than maybe Canelo and Anthony Joshua, like, who's the boxers of like this past generation that people are even going to remember or like talk about? And it's not like that. It's not about like boxing fans. It's just about like who's like mainstream. It's from boxing, or who's going to be mainstream. And I can't really think of anyone. I mean, definitely think someone like I guess Gervonta Davis a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I just think I don't understand why boxing is like in this place, and I don't understand why why everyone's going to be watching Mayweather and Pacquiao fight again. It seems so crazy. They're 49 and 47. So they fought 5 years too late, and now they're fighting 11 years later for the rematch. And then I was thinking too, I'm actually probably going to bet on Floyd. I think anytime Floyd fights, it makes sense to bet. And I'm assuming he's going to fight Pacquiao. And if he does fight Pacquiao, he'll probably be around a 2-1 favorite. The fight's in Vegas, so that means it's going to be rigged for Floyd. And I figured I'll bet $1,000 to win 500 on Mayweather, and it should be pretty easy money. I'm trying to think how the fight will play out. I mean, I don't know. I figure if the first fight 11 years ago was really boring, then the second fight you know, with them being 49. You know, if they were like 38 and 36 and the fight was boring, then imagine how boring it's going to be when they're 49 and 47. I wonder how many rounds it'll be. It'll be like a 10-round fight. I don't know. I can't believe it's so dumb. I guess people care to watch because they think like Mayweather's like, you know, risking his like undefeated record. I can't imagine. Maybe Mayweather does care about that, but I can't imagine Mayweather even cares that much at this point. Like, I don't know, isn't he just like fighting for money? Like, doesn't he just like want some money? And like this whole like legacy stuff is all kind of nonsense. I mean, at the end of the day, right, you can't really judge someone by how they fight when they're 49 years old, right? I mean, everyone's gonna remember Mayweather for being, you know, one of the best ever, from, you know, the ages of what, 20 until he was like, you know, 38 or whatever. His 49th fight again. I just think like, I don't know, I feel like you know, I watch like boxing on YouTube, and I watch a lot of those like, you know, Tyson fights, like Tyson Holyfield and whatever, let's say Tyson and Spinks, or Holyfield and Foreman, or whatever, Ali and Foreman and stuff like that. And it's like, oh man, those are like such great fights. And it's like, I really missed out, you know, and I was like 10 years too late, whatever, for the, you know, Tyson Holyfield. I would have been like 8 years old, so I was too young to see that. But essentially I was like 10 years too late when it came to watching boxing. But now it feels like, as a boxing fan, hard to argue you're not like living in the worst era. Like, I don't know, at least in terms, I mean, whatever, there are some good fighters. I mean, the fight, those first two fights with Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, I thought those were pretty awesome. I thought those were pretty awesome fights. They got made. They were both in their prime. They were both exciting, close fights. That was really like boxing at the top level, I thought. The three fights with Wilder and Fury, I thought were pretty awesome. Other than that, I can't really think of that many good fights like I've got to see. Fury and Usyk one was actually a pretty awesome fight as well. And yeah, I mean, Joshua and Wilder didn't happen when it was supposed to, and probably will never happen. I mean, now maybe I wouldn't say never, since these guys are fighting in late 40s and stuff. I also don't understand why it seems like none of these guys can stay retired. I mean, they used to say like boxing was like a sport where it was like hard to hang it up, and you know, you have your occasional fighter who would fight for too long or fight into their 40s. But now you have like, I don't know, Mike Tyson's fighting at like 59, right? Now Floyd's fighting at 49, and from what it sounds like, this isn't just like a one-time fight with Pacquiao. It sounds like he's gonna have a bunch of fights or something. Excuse me. I don't know. I just think this is so dumb. I wonder if anyone else like really tilted by this. Like, I don't know. It bothers me too, because I'm gonna almost for sure watch it. Right? It's on Netflix. Mayweather Pacquiao. What else am I gonna do? And I'm gonna watch it and feel like what embarrassed that I'm watching this. I don't know. I remember watching that Jake Paul Joshua fight too. It was like so dumb. I actually tried to rewatch it recently, and like pretty much gave me a headache. No, I was like rewatching like Jake Paul Joshua, and I was just like, oh, this is just so bad that I like went and like found some like old Muhammad Ali fights to watch, because I was like, oh, I need to like watch something actually good. I can't watch this nonsense. No, I can't. I wonder what you guys think in terms of like, I'm also curious, are there people who are like really excited for this fight? Like, are there people who are like, you know, 15 or 16 and they're just like, oh, no way, I was like too young to watch Mayweather Pacquiao, and now I get to like watch them rematch. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it too. Like, it's in like Vegas and the Sphere on Netflix. Like, so are people gonna be like lining up to watch this fight? Like, is this fight gonna get a ton of views? Is it gonna be like in Vegas, or, you know, you have like all like the celebrities showing up and stuff? Like, isn't this like a joke? Like 49 and 47. Hey, I was trying to think too. I was like, oh, maybe there's a chance, like, you know, Pacquiao will really go for it and like get himself knocked out, and it'll be an exciting fight. And then I'm like, yeah, probably not. I mean, probably just like at this point they're just like old, and they're just like gonna cash in their money and like just like each get whatever money. I don't know, I'm assuming they each get at least 20 million or more, and then they're just gonna like take their money and be happy and just like have like a pretty shitty non-competitive fight where it like kind of looks like they're trying, but then at the same time you gotta be like real. I don't know, I remember when Floyd fought McGregor. I thought Floyd looked pretty bad against McGregor. I mean, he won that fight. Obviously, McGregor was, it was his boxing debut. But I remember thinking Floyd looked pretty bad and slow against McGregor, and that was like, I think that was 7 years ago. And I haven't really watched any of Floyd's exhibitions. I mean, I guess, whatever. At least the good thing is they've both, stayed in shape. Manny Pacquiao's still been active. And so, yeah, at least they're both, in good shape. And it's not like they have to, lose, 50 pounds for the fight. But I don't know. I just think this whole thing is so dumb. I wonder what you guys think. I mean, I don't know who's going to be watching this video, but I saw something Teddy Atlas reacted where he gave his prediction. He said it's going to be a draw. But I don't know. I'm just isn't this just embarrassing for the state of boxing? I'm wondering why boxing is in this place that it's in. I mean, it seems like they've done a pretty bad job of promoting the other fighters. I don't think it's a lack of talent thing though. I think there are some young, good, talented fighters. I just feel like they're not being promoted the right way, or there's not good marketing, or maybe they lost some of their fan base to UFC. I remember my brother was saying that, big problem was UFC took a lot of the fan base over the past 20 years. It's really hurt boxing. I guess that could be true. I don't understand why you can't just watch both. I don't get it. I also don't understand why Netflix is going about it this way, whereas they're having these boxing events on Netflix, but they're all really joke events, right? So you had Jake Paul and Tyson, Jake Paul and Joshua. I mean, you did have Canelo and Crawford, which technically is a real fight, but that was whatever, kind of dumb. I mean, at least from my perspective, it seemed like Canelo didn't care at all. I don't know. I just don't understand. The one thing, I thought that fight poster looked pretty cool. I saw the fight poster for Mayweather Pacquiao, where they were both the way they were standing there with the big number 2 and stuff. I thought that looked I thought the fight poster looked cool. Other than that, I think this is really dumb. Another thing I don't get too is they're saying Mayweather's going to fight Tyson. So if Mayweather's going to fight Tyson in April, I don't understand why they are announcing this fight now. Why would you announce if you know what I'm saying? Why not have Mayweather fight Tyson in April, and then in May or whatever, or after that fight, then announce the Pacquiao fight, right? It wouldn't be that way isn't that a better way to build 2 fights instead of now it's the Mayweather Tyson fight really looks like a joke, right? And it looks everyone's just looking forward to Mayweather Pacquiao too or something. I don't know. I think this whole thing's really dumb. But bottom line, I guess I want to say is, yeah, most likely, I'm assuming Floyd's gonna be a 2-1 favorite. I'm gonna bet $1,000 on Floyd to win 500, probably. Maybe he'll be less than 2-1 though. Maybe he'll be minus 150 or something. But anyways, yeah. So if I'll bet 1,000 to win 500 or 600 on Floyd money line, I bet you that has to be free money. I can't see how Floyd would possibly lose. And yeah, essentially too, because Floyd's a defensive fighter and stuff. The older Pacquiao gets, probably the lower his chances are, right? The younger they were, the better Pacquiao's chances, because he has the speed to get inside. And then you figure the older they get, the worse Pacquiao's chances get. So yeah, if Pacquiao gonna beat him in 2015, I'm assuming definitely won't beat him in 2026. But anyways, guys, that's all I really have to say about that. I do kind of think the state of boxing is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I hope we have some new young fighters that can properly get promoted, or I don't know, maybe if we have some exciting American heavyweight or something. I don't know where. I don't see. I mean, there's that guy Moses Atama, that young heavyweight who looks pretty good. So yeah, maybe he could become a big deal. But other than that, I don't know. I'm sure he won't. I don't know. I'm just kind of depressed when I think about the state of boxing right now and being a fan, and just oh, there's really nothing to watch. It makes this just crappy. I don't know what to say. I just think this is bad. And yeah, I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, these individual sports, it always just comes down to the athletes. So when you have someone who's really good and really exciting, they'll come along and they'll grab everyone's attention. But until that happens, you're kind of stuck with what we have now, which is a 49-year-old Mayweather versus a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao. So, all right, I'm also wondering if this fight will actually happen, right? 'Cause 7 months away, it does seem like a long time. So who knows what will happen? And one of these guys could definitely get injured in training camp or something. But anyways, yeah, that's all. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. See ya.